Hello, Full Couch Summit. This is Becky DeGrossa with Counseling Wise. I'm going to talk with you today about websites. I'm sure your favorite topic. And the reason I'm going to do that is because a lot of people in our industry just don't have good websites and they're not getting them clients. So let's kind of go down how I started and how I got into this so that you'll understand, and then I'll be able to share some things with you. So in 2007, I started my own private practice, and that was after 20 years almost at IBM, and then 3 years of grad school after that, and then getting out and starting my practice and thinking, this is going to be a piece of cake, right? I have a technical degree. I've worked in the industry forever. I can throw up a website and it's just going to be awesome. I get clients call, fill my practice, I'm going to get to do therapy, which is at the time what I thought I wanted to do. And so anyway, I did that. I worked really hard and I got a website up, and then guess what? The phone didn't ring. Nothing happened. It was crickets, really. And at that point I was like, oh dear, I have a problem here. I just left a 6-figure income with a 401k plan and all this good stuff, and to go into this field and to do what I thought I wanted to do, and I can't get it to work. So I have sympathy for any of you who are in that boat where you think it's going to be really easy, or you think it's at least going to be reasonably easy and you can't get it to work. So let's talk about that. I ended up having to go hire a coach who knew a whole lot about not only online marketing, but messaging, really good, intimate messaging. And then I added SEO knowledge on top of that, and I finally got this thing working. Okay, so it was quite a journey. It cost me a bit of money in coaching to get it working, and I finally did get it working. And so that was really neat when that started happening. However, what I found after all that work was that the phone rang. I would talk to these people, and I would be listening to them for what they, how they got to me and what they resonated with on my site and all of that. And I would start seeing these folks. But then after a while, I realized that I really liked the getting the clients part much better than the seeing the clients part. And so I just decided that I was going to do this full time instead of do therapy. So I'm really glad you guys are out there still doing therapy, because I'm not. But I'm really good at getting clients. So let's talk about that and how to make that work. What I will tell you is that there are really common mistakes that people make on their websites. And of course, how would you know? And so we've identified those, and we help people fix those and get it right so that they can then start ranking in Google. Actually, you can rank in Google. A lot of people think you can't, but you totally can. And then once you're ranking for things that people are looking for, and you have really good messages on your site that really resonate with people, they pick up the phone and call you. Okay, so this is the formula. It's pretty easy. It's like very straightforward. Do the site right, then rank in Google, and then get phone calls and see clients. Okay. Also, in December of this year, we put out a free website review offer. My company did, and like 3 weeks ago. It's been a crazy 3 weeks. And we had over 200 therapists submit websites to us. I've personally talked to nearly 100 people in the last 3 weeks, even over the holidays. And it's been, to do this immersion, look at that many websites and talk to that many therapists in a 3-week period, it's been pretty eye-opening to me. So what I found was that it is very, very, what's the word I want to say? Predictable what these conversations are going to go like. So I look at the site, and then I get on the phone with the therapist, and I can pretty much tell you what they're going to say just by looking at the site. And very few of them, out of those nearly 100 that I've talked to, did I anticipate that they were going to say they're getting clients. Okay, and sure enough, those like 3 actually that I talked to said, yes, I'm getting clients, and maybe I want to get a different kind of client. Maybe they're seeing a bunch of couples and they want to see individuals because the couples are wearing them out. So it's a really clear thing to me at this point. in terms of looking at a site and telling if it's going to work. So there are actually numerous things that go into making a website work really well, rank in Google high enough that you get traffic, and then also to resonate, okay? There are numerous things, but what we have found is that there are 3 things that almost everyone is getting wrong, and these are the biggest 3 things, and that's what I'm going to walk you through, and I'm going to go to the computer to do that so that I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, what I hope to do is to show you how to fix your website to fill your practice and keep it full. But before I start, let me ask you a question. How would your life be different if you got great client calls consistently? Not client calls from people that don't fit, not crickets in terms of your phone ringing, but actually got client calls on a consistent basis from people who fit you perfectly. I want you to think about that because I think a lot of you don't believe it's even possible. And it totally is possible, all right? So that's what we're going to talk about. So, in case you didn't know, there is a huge problem in our field. And here it is. And I hope that this illustration is going to be indelibly etched in your mind. So we start out really strong, right? We go get expensive degrees. We spend all of these years in school studying. We then do training at agencies or wherever to get real life experience. And we undergo a lot of continuing education to keep growing and learning, right? This is a lot of investment. We're very conscientious about learning this stuff. We spend a lot of money and time doing it. And then when we're finally ready to go into private practice, when it comes time to do what we need to do to get clients for our private practice, we finish weak, very weak, okay? So study this diagram and see if it is something that you relate to. You worked really, really hard to get to where you are. So why throw it all away with your marketing when you're ready to go live in private practice? It's really crazy. I know what happens. We want to believe that we really don't have to learn how to market. We have these fantasies that people are just going to show up and that we aren't business people really. We're not marketers. We're really therapists and they'll just show up. We want to believe that we can just get cousin Joey down the street to make us a website. That doesn't work too well. And we also want to believe that someone will actually give us a system that will work for $59 a month, okay? Or $49 a month when it's a deal, when it's on sale, all right? So would you ever go to a therapist who says, hey, I'm going to give you everything you need for $49 or $59 a month? Hope not. So I just want to show you how crazy this is. It's not good, okay? It's not good, but there's a better way. So I want to teach you how to use your website to finish strong. I want to show you how to set up a system that will actually build you a real practice. I want to show you how to keep the system working to bring you continuous calls from the clients you actually want to have in your practice. And I want to show you how you don't have to worry about whether or not you'll make it in private practice. Fact number 1, websites need to be found in order to bring you clients. You could have the most beautiful website in the world. If no one sees it, it doesn't matter. You can have the ugliest website in the world. If no one sees it, it doesn't matter. Your website actually needs to be seen. It needs to be found in order to bring you clients. Fact number 2, websites need to be centered around things people search for. Okay, and what I mean by that is there must be market demand. And I'll go into detail on this a little bit more, but that's fact number 2. Fact number 3, when your website is found, It must make an impact on the reader. It's got to make an impact. It can't be meh, okay? It has to really make an impact. So these three things are so important. And if you can make these three things happen, you are going to be so much better off than you may be now. So as I mentioned before, we just reviewed a gazillion therapist websites in a short period of time. I have a whole new appreciation for the word immersion, let me tell you, and also for hair dye, because I think I went grayer over the process here. But we reviewed a ton of them. Now, most of them are missing a lot, but there are three big common mistakes. And these are the mistakes that I'm going to cover with you so that you can really understand, well, you'll see whether you're making them or not, and then you'll know how to fix them, okay? The three biggest mistakes. So the first thing you must do is you must create separate specialty pages on your site. So here on the left, you can see you have specialties and there's drop downs. These are three different specialty pages. So do this as opposed to this, which many people do, which is just, hey, home, and they have a specialties page and they say, hey, welcome to my practice. I treat anxiety and depression and couples and OCD and eating disorders and 1 million things that they say they do. And that's the only page they have where they ever use the word anxiety or depression or anything that concerns the person who's looking for it, okay? And then they have an about and a contact, whatever. Don't do it that way. Actually break these things out into separate specialty pages and have a full page for each. You may say, but that's going to take a lot of time. That's going to be a lot of pages on my website. Yes, you are right. Most good things take time. Lest I remind you, most good things take time, okay? So you really do need to put in the work or have someone put in the work for you, but it has to be done. That is how it's going to work. Second thing is optimize around things people are actually searching for. So I think I'm going to get up this morning and go to Google and search for individual therapy, said no client ever. Okay, that is not a term you should be optimizing around. Nobody searches on that. That's an insider's term. We ask each other, hey, do you do couples or individual? The end client, the layperson, that's not a word they ever use. So just forget about even creating a page on that. You could have a section in your navigation that says couples and then says individuals, and then under that it has specialty pages. That's fine, but don't think that if you rank for this term that you're going to get a whole bunch of client calls. You're not. On the other hand, PTSD treatment is a great term, right? There's a lot of search volume for it. And so that is a really good term to actually write a page around, and that is going to work. So do this, not this. Now, you may have some other things that you do here. Some people are kind of confused about this in terms of pages. So someone may say, but wait, I want to treat women who are in their third marriages and are only 32 years old. Well, there's pretty low demand for that, okay? Pretty low. So if you're really dead set on that's all you want to see, your website isn't the best way to find those people. I'm not really sure what is, but your website isn't the best way to find it, because websites are about ranking in Google for terms that people are typing in. And so, if you're going to send a bunch of other people to your website some other way, then go for it. But it's not going to draw traffic if you have a page that is centered only around this, okay? What you could do in this kind of a situation is you could optimize for relationship therapy or couples counseling and hope that some of the people who come find you because you're showing up for those terms happen to be women who are on their third marriages and only 32. There might be a few in there. At least it'll get you closer to doing something like this, okay? So that's how I would handle that. The other question people have is, well, okay, how do I know what people are searching for? All you got to do is do keyword research. The data is so available. Okay, and there's a bunch of keyword research tools, and you can do keyword research to find out what people are typing in your own city. And so it's just right there. It's ready for you. So go ahead and check that out. The third big mistake that people make is they don't make their specialty pages thorough enough. When we do pages, we make them 1,000 to 1,200 words long. So do this nice, long, thorough page talking about the issue, not this, which is what most people are doing. They have a little baby paragraph, 3 lines or so, and it's never going to see the light of day. Okay, so do this, not that. Well, this is a real common one. No one's going to read that much. So my answer is you might be right. It's debatable, actually. Think about it. Let's say that I really do have PTSD. I really think I do. If I find a page that talks to that in a thorough way, in a very captivating way, chances are I'm going to read it because it's about me and it's about my problem. I'm going to read it. Now, even if someone isn't going to read the whole thing, the fact that it is long is what is going to make you get found. Okay, so that page is going to show up in Google because the page is long. Once people get there, whether they read the full thing or not, they'll scan it at least. And as soon as they find something that resonates with them, then they'll read more. It's just like a newspaper. We scan the headline, all the headlines, and we see what's interesting to us. And so we scan it, we find something that's interesting, we read it. And that's the same thing that happens here with websites. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a real life example of a website that does extremely well, both in terms of rankings and in terms of making the phone ring. All right, here's a website that is a sample website that just brings all these concepts together. So first of all, there's separate specialty pages right here, okay? It's not just home and specialties or nothing and then blog about, etc. There's actually separate specialties. And you can also have modalities if you want. So EMDR, some people search on that, some people search on somatic, not tons, right? They're going to search on these things much more than they're going to search on these things, but those are there so that people can understand how APRA works. If we go to one of the specialty pages in and of itself, and first let's remember that all of these are terms that are searched in Google, then let's just go to one and let's look at it. If we go to this page is optimized around a keyword that has a lot of search volume, and then it has very long content. I'm going to keep going and going. The content is broken up by subheaders so that people can scan, but the content is very long. And what this allows is this page to rank very well in Google. This page ranks for, I think, 12 to 15 terms that have to do with PTSD and trauma on page 1. All of those terms are on page 1, and it's very long. Now, as I said, there's a lot else going on, a lot of other things going on this page, but this is one of the biggest things that we see over and over that if you implement, it'll really help you. Okay, guys, I hope that was really helpful, walking you through those websites, having you see what they actually look like in real life. And what I want to offer you is a free website review. So you can go to counselingwise.com and put your URL into the form there and your name and your email, and we will look at your website and set up a call with you and talk with you about it. All right? Take care, enjoy the rest of the summit, and talk to you soon.